Right then, so what I thought we'd look at to start with is the fabulous backing papers, absolutely gorgeous, and the stencils and how we can match them up, and one will enhance the other, although you don't really need them together for them both to look fantastic. I'm just going to stop talking. Just let's look at you. Look on the overhead, and I'll show you. I'll explain. It's going to be much easier. So, what we've got here is the papers to start with. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the 8x8, 24 pages, 6 designs, all absolutely gorgeous and coordinated. Now, the last papers were the stamp and play papers. The idea was you ink them, you can do more to them, you can build them at a very low colour, very muted, really with the intention of adding colour of your own to them. However, these ones, oh, the story's told. You can still add to it. We're gonna still play with them. But look, you've got, I feel like Sheena Cousteau. I'm swimming with the fishes here. Look at this. Oh, that is just stunning. So this is where you're going to save your ink. You're going to save time. So, you know, a lot of the collections, my thing is that I want to give you designs that you can play with, things that you can build your skills with. You can keep using and discovering and using as a foundation for the new product you've discovered or the new technique you've discovered in a week's time, a month's time, a year's time. So I also, though, want to give you something that, whatever your level of, not even ability, sometimes it's more confidence sometimes than ability, whatever that is at, wherever you're restricted to with that level of wherever you're at, you can do something really cool with it straight away. So that's the papers. They're good to go. Let me show you the stencils next. So this stencil, this you can go any way around. Look, we'll go that way. We'll go that way. I kind of like it that way. Kind of looks like these. It's like the Kraken. Or it could be like an octopus, but it's very tentacly. That was the idea. And this is to go with this whole, you know, the whole underwater, the treasures. They're a little bit more kind of fantastical than the last range. So this one could be a bit mythological as well, but I love the movement in that. That's the fabulous tentacly type stencil. Then we've got the ship. Now I'm thinking here a bit of like, you know, the old piratey kind of ship, ghost ship. This looks really cool if you do it like in a shimmery. I'm going to show you some ideas I've had with that. The anchor, obviously these are separate stencils. You're going to mask this one out. You're going to put a bit of tape over that one, and you're going to use the ship, or alternatively you're going to mask the ship and use those ones to give you more value for money. Then we have this is really cool. I love this as well. So you've got the ship's wheel, big ship's wheel, which is, you know, just bring it however much into the picture that you want it to be. Could be top right, bottom left. Have a play with it. Smaller version, and then these fabulous kind of looks like Atlantis. You've got the amphora there, and then you've got the helmet, the deep sea, the diver's helmet, some bubbles. You don't have to use them both together. You can use them separately. So they're the stencils. Let me show you what happens when you put them together. And then we're going to have a bit of play, and we're going to do exactly that. So when you put them together, you can do, look, simple. I haven't done anything fancy schmancy here. I've just used a bit of black soot distress ink just to show you how well they stencil. These are all cool as they are, those papers. You've got the wheel, as I said, you can pop that as far or into the images you want. But what happens then? Try a little bit of distress ink, see how cool. Again, you don't need to do a lot to these to make them look super fabulous, and you've got the backgrounds already done. But if you want to, ooh, look at that. I was talking about a bit mythological, a bit otherworldly, a bit of the Kraken type thing. So what I've done there is I've stenciled with glycerin and an applicator, sponge applicator, glycerin, and then applied my clear sparkle embossing powder, heated it, and then I've gone over with some black soot distress ink just to give that embossing powder a base to pop, and it'll repel, the embossed area will kind of resist the ink, so you've just got that drama coming through there, which I love. And then, you know, the ghost ship we mentioned, look, oh, that's all set for a fabulous. Now you can get more ink on there, we can do a bit more. Let me show you what we're going to play with, and let me show you why these are super cool. We'll create a background together now. Let me show you and take you on a little story, and we're going to build a card around this. This is a background that started off white card, right? So that's white stamping card. Used distress inks, applied them with a sponge, and then sponged them off, add some water, dried them, layered them up, and it looks really cool. It looks fantastic. However, let me show you how we can create a much quicker version of this using one of those papers. So I've cut the paper down to size. Now look at that already. Now this wasn't inked with the intention of looking like that. This was just inked to look cool before we even got the papers, before they arrived, because we're waiting for them to arrive. It's like, well, I want to play with the papers. But before they arrived, this is what we were playing with. So, but look, we're almost there. So first thing to do is add a little bit more colour. So if you want that zesty green at the top, get your distress inks out. These have all been designed to take ink. So again, this is not shiny paper that's got that surface which won't play with your inks or your paints or anything like that. That's really important. Any of my backing papers, I really don't want them to be just as they are. I want them to work just as they are and look fabulous, but as I said, I want them to be able to be played with. So straight away, we've now got that same zesty pop of green at the top, and we can just keep going. If you want to blend this a little bit further and make your ink go a little bit further and have a more subtle transition at the bottom, you can always just pop a little bit of glycerin onto your applicator, and that will make it blend even, take it down even further into that card. I'm not even going to do much more than that. That's enough, but that's there to show you. And you see, when you go down towards the bluey bits, you're going to get a different shade of green, because the zesty green's mixing with the greenier green, if you know what I mean. Greener green, if you know what I mean. And it's creating another look again. So that's all I'm going to do. I could blend that out more, have it really flawless if I want. What I do want to do is I'm going to pop up that blue at the bottom, and I'm going to use some prize ribbon here for the bottom area. Now I've got one of these was black and one of them was blue, and then you know what it's like with your distress ink. Sometimes you just pick up the applicator in haste and you can't be bothered to check which one you use, so they all end up black. That's what I do anyway. There you go. This is the way it is. So look, but that's it. I've intensified the blue at the bottom. I've given a pop of that green at the top. If you want to blend that green out, as I said, just add a little bit of glycerin to that background. Let me show you what I mean, because you can see a little bit of a patch there. So we've got that there. We've got that sorted there. What I'm going to do now is pop the tentacles over the top. So it's your call on which side you want, which way you want it to be. Have a play around with it. Let's pop that there. Now, to be safe, we could tape this down, but I'm just going to hold it and hope for the best. And get some black soot, get my applicator, and go ahead. And quite heavy-handed here, not much finesse needed at all. And I don't want to catch these ones, because I just want the tentacle that I'm looking for. I don't want to take it right over the card. I just want to have a little bit coming at the top, as if this guy's just creeping in there in a menacing fashion. And then we'll just continue like this. And this is exactly what you would do with your glycerin if you were going to put your embossing powder on later. You would just do all of this, remove your stencil, pop your embossing powder on, heat it, and you're done. Bob your uncle. Absolutely fab, easy peasy. So I wanted to show you different techniques with these backing papers in the last one. So then we've got this that looks pretty cool. There's the original, okay, with inks, and that's using your time, it's using your product, it's using your, using your ink up. And if you're in a hurry, wow, how long did that take us? Like, not much at all. So, and this is the one I've got now stuck together, ready as the backdrop for us to do the next bit, which we will have a little break, tidy up, come back, and we're going to play with some colouring in the main focal elements. So, see you again in a minute.